Alright, so most of you have probably heard that WB Games Montreal has sort of been hinting at a new Batman game coming out later this year. And most of you will probably also remember that back in 2013, when Arkham Origins came out, there was a multiplayer portion of the game as well. There was a second disc that wasn't part of the campaign, there wasn't a campaign or anything, but you could play multiplayer. And basically the way that it worked is there were I think eight max players in a server, and you could play as Batman and Robin, so two of the players were Batman and Robin. Then there were three players on each side. So there was Joker's gang and Bane's gang. So you were either Batman, Robin, or a Joker thug or a Bane thug. And there were also opportunities where you could play as the Joker or Bane, and you could customize your thug, and you could level up and get better weapons and things like that. And so on paper this is a really cool concept. However, the actual multiplayer game was really restrictive. There were only 4 maps, and like when you look at the Arkham games, like they're known for their environments and such. I think that it was just such a huge misstep to really limit the amount of maps and never add more. That was kind of a mistake. Also, the fact that you could only have 8 people in a server was pretty small, and especially like when you got people leaving the game, like mid game, people would just leave. And there were times where, even though it was only 8 people in a server, it would take forever to fill up. It would take like, I remember there were times I'd wait like 30 minutes for the server to fill up before we could start playing. So again, kind of restrictive and fun, but again, just it feels like a rough draft. It doesn't feel like a finalized product. So the question of this video, and go ahead and answer in the comments below what you think, is should they try and expand on Arkham Online and try to bring, some kind of Arkham Online game, or portion, like it could be DLC, it could be something like that. Do you think Arkham Online should return for this new Batman game? Now, I've heard it suggested that maybe Arkham Online could be its own game, like a standalone title. I don't necessarily think that that's a good idea. I think it'd be better if it was released with, a main single-player game with a campaign, because that's generally what the Arkham community asks for and what they prefer. I guess another question, I'm just kind of thinking this on the fly, but I guess multiplayer elements could be implemented in the base game, but again, that would be really restrictive for the most part, because you could do the Bat family, but it would pretty much be cooperative. I don't really see how they could do any, really interesting multiplayer elements other than like what you see in Lego Batman, like the Lego Batman games. That's pretty much the extent of multiplayer I could see them doing. I don't know, maybe they could figure something out, but overall, I think multiplayer in an Arkham game is best served either if they did decide to do like a Batman Robin game. I'd be okay if they tried to, figure out a 2-player system for that. But overall, I think if you want to do kind of the battles where everyone's fighting, you need to have that be its own thing, in part with a standalone title. Personally, I would be okay if they do try to create another Arkham Online experience. However, if it's going to detract from the main game at all, I'd say just don't do it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth investing in if it's not going to be really cool. And that's kind of my standpoint on it, just in general. If it's not going to be something that I want to go back for after like 4 rounds of playing it, then don't even bother. If it's something where you can get a ton of maps, like if they could get 10 plus maps and let like 20 people be in a server, then absolutely. That would be way fun, especially, because then on my channel I could get a bunch of subscribers and other YouTubers, and we could all go and, have fun in the multiplayer maps. But again, if they're not gonna put a lot of time and effort into it, I'd say just don't bother. I think the best route to go would be take a small Warner Brothers studio that kind of generally just provides support and backup, and I'd say have them develop the game. So let WB Games Montreal focus solely on the base game and maybe some DLC content, and then maybe have a studio on the side working on Arkham Online. I think that they actually did that for Origins, but clearly the second studio that was working on it didn't really put too much effort into the multiplayer. I'm just saying that as a fact. Like, clearly there wasn't tons of effort put into it, and if that's going to be the case again, I just say don't bother. But anyways, thanks you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.